Clint Fraziers' biggest mistake was being interesting. Yankees outfielder Clint Frazier had a rough night in the field on Sunday in a loss to the rival Red Sox on Sunday. The 24-year Frazier did not speak to reporters after the game. Reporters do not. The outfielder faced the press on Tuesday before the Yankees game in Toronto. He defended himself. Frazier's entire Q&A session with reporters is. He goes on to discuss how and why he feels like he has been treated unfairly by the Yankees media since joining the club in a 2016 trade. Namely stories, while many in the media react with entitled, knee-jerk negativity to a player ducking them, longtime New York Post columnist Joel Sherman shared some more balanced insight in a Twitter thread. "It for them, and that usually angers teammates. Two teams cannot let millions of fans into the clubhouse. For better or worse, Joel Sherman at Joel Sherman 1. I never feel disrespected when a player or exec doesn't talk. I think it is the fan. Joel Sherman at Joel Sherman 1. 6. Frazier thinks he gets bad press. I disagree. Joel Sherman at Joel Sherman 1. 7. The job is not supposed to be easy or comfortable. At best it is supposed. Joel Sherman at Joel Sherman 1. That all sounds right. My only quibble is that I do kind of think Frazier has gotten unnecessarily rough treatment from certain corners of the New York baseball media. In the transcribed, I happen to be at my. When it was relayed that Sabathia's growth stood out because it was clearly groomed, not the result of inattentive maintenance, Girardi said Frazier's case, writ large, seems perhaps the perfect embodiment of an extremely frustrating aspect of baseball culture. Players get punished for being interesting. We bleat on about how MLB needs bigger and better personalities to market, then as soon as a guy takes even a half step off the normal, boring course, people insist he should have been studying game film or respecting the game. Fans do it. Like Sherman says, Frazier's words Tuesday undoubtedly come off as honest. But since his I've written about this before in Hayrace look here, and enjoy the youthful exuberance of new Yankees prospect Clint Frazier before he falls victim to our incessant and foolhardy desire for baseball players to be cliché-spewing robots instead of regular young dudes expressing their zeal for life. Frazier should enjoy himself now, because he's soon to play baseball in a landscape where every sharp-tongued sports talk radio host and starchy columnist and Weasley blogger will be sharpening their pitchforks while they watch and wait for the first time he dares do anything interesting or funny or human after a night he happens to go 0 for 4. Hell, draw compare. Meanwhile, Frazier has an .857 OPS in the majors as a 24-year-old. The defense has been, could Frazier's attitude and occasional lack of accountability really be harmful to the Yankees clubhouse chemistry and 2019 fate? Sure, I get.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.